Encouraging news today on the nation's #1 issue, our beleaguered economy. The Department of Labor announcing the 4-week average of people filing for unemployment dropped to a 4-year low. So why does the president want to weigh down the recovery with a new global tax on businesses and a ballooning national debt? Here with real prescription, that is, for job growth and budget discipline, Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell, chairman of the Republicans Governors Association. Welcome to the show. Great to see you again, sir.
Thanks, Jerry.
Before we get to your record in Virginia, which is, by the way, impressive when it comes to jobs, I have to ask you about this red-hot story that's gotten so much ink, so many women in particular fired up. This was a bill, an abortion bill, that would have mandated that women get what's called a transvaginal ultrasound if they were getting an abortion. And, of course, this is an invasive technique, not the old-fashioned ultrasound that's done on the exterior of a pregnant woman's belly, but invasive. And to my thinking, an overreach of government that's astonishing. You flip-flopped on this, you backed the bill, and now you say no. Why?
No, Jerry, I think you've got it wrong. I support the concept of an ultrasound requirement in it's part of the formal informed consent. I still support that. What I requested is simply an amendment that requires an abdominal ultrasound. I don't think we ought to be mandating by state law another kind of invasive procedure. So it's not a flip-flop. We learned during the process that there were more than just abdominal ultrasounds that were required. We found that there was some concerns legally, constitutionally, as well as medically, and so I asked for an amendment to be made. The bill is still rolling along, and I hope it'll pass, because the people like me that are pro-life simply hope that women have all the information that they need, including something like an ultrasound, before they make the ultimate decision. So that's what the bill did. We've clarified that, and now I hope that it'll pass.
You know, when you look at the national GOP debate and running for president, what you've seen in the last couple of weeks is a look to social issues. And that's sort of why I brought this up to begin with, because abortion is a social issue. Has this been a mistake by the GOP candidates? Should they be focusing instead on the economy?
Jerry, that's a very good question, and my view is they are. I mean, even in Virginia, while some of these bills have gotten attention, pushed by the Democrats and some of the left, 97% of all the bills that we have advocated, in fact, 100% of mine, are jobs and the economy and taxes and spending and energy and education and higher ed and veterans. I mean, that's my agenda this year. There's just a handful of bills that have seemed to get more attention. And I think at the federal level, these values issues are important to us as Americans. People want to know where you stand on life and family and marriage and religious liberty. But overall, what our candidates are talking about at every level is how do we get people back to work? How do we make the greatest country on earth solvent again? How do we get out of debt? How do we create a good energy policy? I really do think that's the heart and soul of what this campaign is about in 2012 and what primarily our people are talking about.
Well, Governor, you know, look, you have an unemployment rate of 6.2% in Virginia, while the nation languishes at 8.3%. You have a good record there. Help me understand, are social issues and economic issues equal in your view? Or at this point in time, with the country still wrestling with an economy that's punk, let's face it, isn't jobs more important than any social issue right now?
Well, absolutely. The values always count. Character always matters in our country, going back 235 years to the foundation. But right now, people are solely focused, I think, on jobs in the economy, taxes and spending, and frankly, leadership. That's what's going to determine the outcome of this election, and that's why I think our conservative candidates are going to have a better run at it. Look, the reason Virginia's got that 6.2% unemployment rate is because we focused like a laser the last 2 years on keeping taxes and regulation low. We've been very aggressive in getting new monies for economic development programs, and I've traveled nationally and internationally to promote Virginia. That's why we're doing well.
Governor, thanks for coming on tonight. I think we got a heart out
Jerry.
here. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.